Hey guys, so I have an interesting training for you guys today. I was doing this exercise of finding who the best client is for us and noticing how impactful it is. I wanted to kind of like create this training and be able to share it with you guys so you can find it helpful. Okay. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to go deep into learning from not necessarily people who are making a lot of money, but people who actually whose expertise is helping other companies grow. Okay, like consulting firms who come in and literally their job is to look at what are the main constraints in your company and what are the top three things that we can do to 10x your business. Okay, if you ever get to learn a lot from companies like these big billion-dollar firms, okay, their frameworks around at least the number one thing that they do when they come into your organization is they try to find what is the 20% of clients that is buying 80% of the thing that you have to sell, okay? Or maybe they're bringing in 80% of the revenue, okay? And what they like to do is, how can we literally cut off 80% of everyone we're serving and only dial in on the 20% that gives us 80% of the value to the organization, right? Right now I'm working with a firm currently like going through an audit of client acquisition.io, and one of the things that I noticed that they do is the number one thing, literally, the first thing they told me is, hey, you need to work on your headline. Now, I haven't really worked on our website in a long time because that hasn't been a priority of mine. But just understanding the importance of like knowing who you help and communicating that clearly everywhere and making it clear, right? I'll share with you guys a little, just to show you guys how deep they do this. They know when the person gets paid. They literally know what is the pay date of their ideal client, right? They speak to them. They increase their spend when they get paid. So let's say after the 20th of the month, they'll increase their marketing because that's when they know that their prospect just got paid. And that would be the best time to actually try to sell them a service, okay? Now, I kind of like want to explain as to, why it is important for you to actually focus on finding, this is work. It may take you 5 hours, maybe 10 hours to actually go through this exercise, maybe because you haven't actually built systems to collect a lot of this data, right? If you ever need like a back-end system, an onboarding process, and systems to help you track this, if you ever work with us, if you're currently a client, we can help you build an Airtable base where you actually collect all the data. I've probably shown you guys what kind of like our base looks like, but I'll show it another day. Or if you're interested, just comment below or message our team or Katie. She'll kind of like show you how we can implement this in your business, okay? But check this out. The reason why it is super important to find the number one client who is the best for you, the answer is leverage, right? Like I told you, there are limited resources, infinite options, okay? Now, we can't just go around wasting our time, investing money, investing resources, investing our team's time, serving anyone, okay? And here is why. The right client gets you case studies that you can use to market and acquire more clients. They can get you referrals, more money, and they keep buying, right? So if you acquire one right client, they equal tens and they could literally represent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue, right? But now look at if you acquire the wrong client. They get no case studies. They go and market the other way around. They actually do bad marketing because they got a bad experience. So now you're actually losing money. It's not that you lose, you get a bad experience, is you also lose money because they're going to go and tell their friends, okay? And then the other thing is they're not going to keep buying from you, right? But the issue is the right client and the wrong client, they both cost the same to acquire and serve. It's the same amount of outreach. It's the same amount of follow-up. Maybe actually more on the wrong client because you're forcing them, you're pushing them. So it's the same resources. So if you're, let's say on the right client, you're getting one input and you're getting exponential return on your input. Let's say you're getting 10 out every time you invest 1,000. Maybe you're getting 10,000 or 100,000. On the wrong client, you're investing $1,000, $5,000. to actually lose money, because you lose time that you could have invested. There is opportunity cost on your time. There's opportunity cost on that money because you could have directed your marketing to the better client, right? And the 5K that you spent or $2,000 that you spent on cost to acquire a client actually becomes an investment on bad marketing. So now you've paid someone, you've given them the bad experience, and now you've paid to serve them and give them a bad experience. Now they're going around saying everyone, hey, this service is bad, never buy from them. So you're actually losing money, right? What we're trying to achieve is enough leverage to scale sustainably. If you never get clear on who is the right client and who is the wrong client, you will never have leverage. And if you never get leverage to scale sustainably, you will die before you get wealthy. You don't have enough time on this planet, okay? You don't have all the resources in the world. I know money is made up, but guys, you still gotta work for money, right? Now, so I hope you guys understand why it's important to get the right client. It's because it's literally the biggest lever. It's the biggest lever. You do one activity, you serve one person, you give them an amazing experience, they give you the right case studies to market more, they give you the referrals, and they keep buying. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's just a bunch of wins, right? So anyway, what defines a great client? In my opinion, or at least what we wrote down, is someone who is easy to get results consistently. Not one win, not 3 wins, not 5 wins. It's like, hey, 5 wins every day. Okay? Now, who is the person that would get the best results for? Is someone who has experience. And maybe someone who come in, so as an example, we have a lot of clients who come in and they have great case studies around, how to leverage LinkedIn to acquire clients for their clients, right? They have a lot of, maybe they've run ads and they're good at that, right? So they already have some level of proof and some level of experience in making 10 grand a month, 15 grand a month, 20 grand a month. And then we hit the ground running because there's no learning curve. The learning curve is small because we're just embellishing their offer and giving them a better model so they can scale faster because we add in the thing that's going to do. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about what we do right now. So they have experience, which will probably be the same thing for you. If you try to target beginners and broke people, not only are you not even going to get to giving them a great experience, you're going to be spending your time babysitting them and kind of like working their emotions. That's not the best client for you to be working with, okay? And someone who doesn't require much attention and effort and hand holding, right? The right client, you say, hey, attack, they attack. You build a system and like, hey, start tracking every 9 a.m., put it on your calendar. They put the thing on their calendar, they block out the time, and they do it consistently. They give you the right data, okay? That type of level of execution does not come from someone who's starting out. Why? Because it's all, oh, I don't feel good. I don't think this is going to work. I don't feel, like, okay, what you should feel is feel broke, okay? Anyway, I'm just joking at this point. But anyway, next thing is resources. Do they have team? Do they have money? Do they have someone where you say, hey, put this slot on your calendar? Do they maybe have an assistant who could put that thing on their calendar, right? Do they have bandwidth to do the things you want them to do? Or is it they have to fulfill for their client? They have to onboard the client. They have to sell the client. They have to do the outreach. Like if you find someone who has to do all these things in their company, like they can't handle more success because they can't even handle the workload at their current level. They don't have leverage, right? Which is why whenever we work with someone, we try to get them to build hiring systems. We try to put people in their company because we want them to have bandwidth, right? And then the last thing is money. Because fast growth requires what? For you to become a capital allocator. So someone who has experience and someone who has resources. That is it. That is the definition for us on who gets the best results, right? Now, here is what you guys need to have in order to be able to know who this person is, okay? You need to be tracking wins, okay? You need to be tracking wins. I'll show you guys real quick, 1 second. So, guys, this is an example of how to track wins, right? You need to have someone in your company tracking wins like a hawk, okay? The wins screenshot, they need to know the context around it. They need to know the offer, right? And they need to also know the source, right? So as in this case, excuse me, where someone is not yet collecting the right data, right? But normally we actually have more data, but right now I'm just kind of like showing you guys a quick example. But the goal is you need to track every single win for your clients, okay? So that's something you need to do, right? But what you need to know, the reason why you need wins is you need to find out who gets the fastest wins and who gets the most wins. So speed of getting wins and who gets the most volume of wins. Why is that important? Because that's probably the person you should try to work with. Because if you help exactly this person who gets the fastest win and the most wins, you're actually going to be able to work less, because they're the people who just execute like crazy. The people who execute fast get the best results. Now, the next thing you need to know is payment. How did they pay? How much did they pay? Okay? Why is that important? Because you don't want to work with people who are paying you $1,000. Why? Because why work with someone who can pay $1,000 when you have people who can pay you $100,000? So it's also leverage. You want the most leverage. You want to help the best people because you get to collect the most amount of money. You get to work a little bit less, and you get to get better case studies, right? And then you need to know, what was their revenue? Where were they at revenue-wise? Okay? And then you need to all have some onboarding data, like, hey, experience. How many clients did they have? Did they have case studies? I want a list of all the case studies for every new client, okay? And maybe you can be like, hey, if they have less than 3 case studies, I don't want to work with them. Why? Because they lack experience. It's just going to be a burden to try to help them, right? And resources. One of the things we ask our clients is, hey, what's the budget that you have to allocate to marketing every month? If you don't have a budget, like, I'm sorry, but we're not going to make miracles, right? Everything costs money. You need to be able to lose today so you can build something, you can have more productivity down the line, okay? And then also, how many employees do you have? What we like to do is we like to find someone who has at least a team of like 3, 4, because again, I've told you guys, things gets executed much faster, right? And then you need to know, what is the first reason that they wanted to buy in the first place? What was the problem that made them seek help, okay? And you want to track who referred clients, right? Because if you find someone who's referring your clients, they're probably the best client because they got results and they're happy to refer their client, their friends, okay? Who has bought multiple products and services? You need to look at, hey, who has spent the most amount of money with us, right? So you need a finance base, which is something that we also built for our clients, right? You need client feedback forms. A client onboards 1 week later, feedback, ask for feedback. 1 month later, ask for feedback. 3 months later, 6 months later, ask for feedback. Find out who is the happiest with your service, okay? You want to find out the age. You want to find out where they reside in the world, right? Are they in the first world country? Do we have third world countries who are seeing results? Like, who is it? Is it a 30-year-old who's been running a SaaS company, who's maybe exited a company? Is it someone who's just starting, trying to find product market fit? Is it an agency owner who's maybe just starting out, hasn't like even figured out? Maybe they just bought a course from Iman and they're just looking for the next step. No, like find out, who they are, right? Where they live. And then you want to also know, where did they first hear of you? What platform? Was it YouTube? Was it Facebook group? Was it Instagram? Was it IG shoutouts? You want to figure out like, hey, where are clients coming from? Okay. And then if you're a YouTuber like me, you want to figure out, hey, did you consume YouTube content before buying? Okay. And then you also need to ask them, hey, why did you buy? We always ask this question to clients, right? And then what service were you selling before, and to who were you selling it to, right? So you kind of like want to get some feedback as to, what were they selling and who were they selling it to? Because you want to be able to kind of like focus down to a specific service or a specific offer that you constantly get the best results for, right? And you want to maybe even narrow it down to like, hey, I help people who sell to enterprise companies in the, marketing softwares, right? As an example. So guys, once you have all this data, guys, look at this. You want to find the person who gets the best results, who has the most resources, who gets the fastest wins, who pays the most, who has, you want to find the right segment of revenue that gets the best results. Because guys, I can work with someone making $500,000 a month, and they actually may get less results than the person making $50K a month because they don't have time to actually focus on the thing that I'm trying to get them to focus on, right? Or they're just too comfortable where they're at. Onboarding data. Find out what represents the best client. Okay. What I suggest is you can almost build like a board, right? We can be like a table. You can build a table with columns where here you have the name, on the left you have name of clients that you've worked with. Then on at the top you have wins, payment, revenue, onboarding data, reason why they wanted to buy in the first place, who referred clients, who has bought multiple products and services. Feedback, you can almost rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And then you can do age, location, country, continent. We can look at, hey, where did they first hear of us? You can look at, hey, did you consume YouTube content before buying? Why did you buy? And then you need to have, what were you selling? What was your offer? Who were you? What was your niche? And then you look at who gets the best results, who paid the most, what revenue is common, the most common for all these people. How many clients did they have? How many case studies? What was their budget for marketing? What was their team size? And why did they want to buy? You want to find the best reason, because this is also going to help you market better. And then once you've done all this exercise is going to take time, but it's a leveraged exercise. It's going to change the game for you. You implement this, guys, and you, in your marketing, guys, in your marketing and in your appointment setting team and in your sales team, we don't sell anyone who is not this. Let me know if you guys found this exercise helpful. If you need to implement this, we can help you guys build like an Airtable base. But guys, this is going to be helpful for you if you're already making like over multiple 6 figures. So don't rush at trying to do this, because if you're below that, I recommend you focus on marketing, selling, literally sell everyone. Okay. But eventually, once you're making money, then you need to optimize your resources and how you're allocating them. Your time, your focus, and money. I love y'all. Bye-bye.